coming from the studio and just thought I'd hop on here. I just did a TikTok live, so I kind of wanted to spread things out a little bit and do a YouTube as well. Um, Kind of tell you guys a little bit about me, a little about some of the trips I got coming up, my photography, kind of where I've been, what I've been doing, um, and then answer any questions you guys have. So, I'm going to be on for a little bit. I'm probably going to give us like 30 minutes or so, see who joins, all that fun stuff. Um, so, a little bit about me. I'm in my 40s. Uh, uh, Obviously, in theme park theme park enthusiast and roller coaster enthusiast. Started riding coasters, I think, at either 6 or 7, going to Hershey Park with grandparents and family, um, and all that. So, yeah, the Super Blooper is one of the first roller coasters I remember. The Comet, the Rotor, riding Cold Cracker with my grandparents and my sister and all that. And then family trips to King's Dominion every once in a while, Busch Gardens. Kind of grew up on the East Coast. I live in Maryland, so um, theme park trips were kind of a thing back then. And then I grew up going to the Jersey Shore and Wildwood. I go there more now as an adult because I love the Jersey Shore. So that's always kind of a big fun thing I do. But the back in 2000, after I graduated from college, I went to radio broadcasting school. I worked as a radio DJ for a while and a professional mobile DJ, which is what I do now. But the 2000, I moved to Cedar Point. I worked at Cedar Point for 2 seasons. 2000, I worked on Blue Streak. And then in the wintertime, worked on Millennium Force or wherever else they needed me to work at. And then 2001, went back and worked on Millennium Force as full-time ride crew there for the entire 2001 season. Left there in 2001. I moved to Michigan. Then I moved to Florida. I worked for Universal Studios uh, on Dueling Dragons, and then was recruited by SeaWorld and worked on Kraken at SeaWorld. And then after that, I moved to Ohio, moved back to Ohio, joined the military from there. I was active duty infantry in the Army for 10 years, did a mess of deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan. Came back. I got out of the Army in 2013, moved back home to Maryland, and now I'm here. And yeah, so home park I claim is Hershey, even though Hershey Park and um, Six Flags America are literally 72 miles from one that way and one that way. I'm basically right in the middle of both of them. I prefer obviously Hershey over them. So yeah. So 2000, I moved to Ohio. Lived in Sandusky in employee housing. I worked Blue Streak, loved it. Had an amazing year. Met a whole bunch of new friends. Got to learn like the ins and outs of working in the theme park industry, especially in rides and operations. Then went back in 2001. Worked on Millennium, which was a little bit different of a monster than working on Blue Streak for the year. But I loved it. It didn't pay much. The hours were crazy. You didn't get any paid overtime. And back then, I was working, I think, either 7.25 or 7.50 an hour back then. So kind of a crazy to see that them making $15 an hour now. To yeah, that's pretty nuts. I can't even fathom making $15 an hour working the amount of hours I worked on Millennium Force in 2001. So then I moved down to Universal. I worked on Dueling Dragons, actually, when it was Dueling Dragons, not Dragon Challenge or whatever the heck they recalled it. It actually dueled. We literally were trained to run the trains at the same time, not every once in a while we miss a dispatch because an issue on one side or the other with the guest taking too long or something would happen. But back then the trains would actually kind of wait on the lift hill and slow the lift hill down to wait for the other one. So if you dispatched red, I think it was 45 seconds or so before the other one, it would catch up and slow down. But once it got like 3/4 up the way of the hill, it wasn't stopping. So very rare to not have that dual when I worked on it. Fantastic ride to work, fantastic crew that I worked with there. And then I got recruited by SeaWorld and I went to work over at Kraken. And in all honesty, SeaWorld was the best park I ever worked at. The way that we were treated, the scheduling, the way that the park operated was a lot more organized than any other park I've ever been at. And they treated you very, very well. Then to move back to Ohio. Wait a minute. Florida, moved back to Ohio. Was in Ohio for about 6 months, joined the military. And then 2013 moved back here. So, I'm a professional photographer. That's one of my big things. I love taking pictures. I love doing video. The pictures you see on the wall behind me are mine. They're all edited, shot, edited, everything. I use Canon cameras. Everything from, I have an R7 mirrorless I'm shooting with now. And I have lenses from 15 millimeters all the way up to 600 bazooka that I use to shoot. Video wise, GoPro Hero 12. Most of the time, if I'm shooting on ride, if I'm at Busch Gardens, I'll shoot it either wrist mounted or chest mounted. Knoebels is chest mounted. So you'll see my videos where I'm on ride video. I'll have my camera on my wrist facing backwards or forwards or on me or for whatever. And then I just recently picked up a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which has turned into my go-to. Fantastic camera. I literally can't say anything bad about that so far. I'm more curious. I've used it to shoot in Hershey and Kings Dominion and Six Flags New Jersey so far. So I'd be curious to see the upcoming trips. I'm getting better at how to set the camera up, how to move the camera, how to use the camera to my liking. Hello, Loopy Loop Adventures. I know you. So I'm curious to see how well that works out, because how I want to film is I want to film more of my opinion of the park, more of like a walk around the park instead of just shooting pictures and being like, here it is and that's what it is. More of my opinions on the park. I'm not really one. I'm trying to get used to being on camera. I would like kind of like be behind the camera. I have friends that my buddy Alex, for example, with Coaster Spot, he tends to stay behind the lens, and you never know who he is. I know who he is because I've met them, but yeah, he's never on camera. That's kind of the way I kind of was at first. I was kind of like, well, I'm not gonna put myself in front of the camera so everybody knows who I am. And then I realized that people know who I am, which is cool. I'm noticeable when I'm in the parks. I always have my big camera on me and I always have my coaster vest on. So yeah, so I was just like, you know what? And then I have people writing comments in my shorts and on my other videos where I'm showing like opening day stuff, when they're like, can you give more of a description? Can you give like more of like a tour of the park kind of thing? And I'm like, okay, fine. So I got the Osmo and now I'm going to work on doing that. The Osmo makes it really easy to edit, really easy to upload. It hooks to the phone. I can upload on the spot from the phone. And I've got all these extra toys that go with it too that mounts it everywhere and all that stuff. So I really enjoy using that camera. I'm probably going to end up picking up the Osmo action camera instead of the new GoPro. The problem I had with the GoPros is the GoPro overheats pretty much. If it's being used for more than 10 minutes at a time, it overheats and it shuts down, and I don't understand that. I know they said that they fixed a lot of that with the Hero 13, but I'm still not I'm very skeptical on that. I've had no problem with the Osmo overheating at all. I think it's because the camera and the screen and everything else is separate from each other, so it's not. It's different. So yeah, upcoming trips. Let's see. Friday leaving for Knoebels and doing Knoebels opening day on Saturday, which is the 26th. That's their opening day for this season. Really looking forward to that. I love that place. It's one of the most unique theme parks in the country. Um, they might not have the biggest, the best, or whatever. They do have the number one wooden roller coaster in the world, which is Phoenix, which is arguably the number one coaster in the world. Um, but I always look forward to riding that. Twister's there, Impulse is there, Black Diamond's there, the Flying Turns is there. Just a very unique park. And it's one of those parks where um, everything is rather inexpensive. It's not cheap. I never say cheap because cheap gives a whole different vibe. But I've had better food. Um, I'm about 2 hours away from Hershey. Either way. Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. If you've never been to Hershey, yeah, Hershey's a definite. Their coaster collection is world class, and they do have the most roller coasters of any park in the Northeast now. So yeah, they're making sure that they tout that because they moved ahead of Great Adventure for the number of rides. I have to been there. Was two. So you haven't been on Wildcat yet. You haven't been on Wildcat's Revenge yet. Um, Wildcat is, I would say, one of the best coasters on the East Coast. Um, Besides the stuff in Florida, I always say it's like the East Coast until you get to Florida, and then like Florida's like a whole different ball game. Um, RMC I've ridden is Devil. Yeah, Devil is terrible compared to Wildcat, Twisted Timbers. Those RMCs are much better. Of course, my number one is Steel Vengeance. That's why it's right, right there on my wall. Um, yeah, it's really weird to me that Jersey Devil is weird compared to like rough and not great compared to all the other RMCs I've been on. I think it's just a single rail design. Excuse me. I agree. I have 6. I have Batman the ride over. Yeah. Um. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, Jersey Devil. I don't. That thing actually hurts my legs. I've actually had really bad leg cramping on that ride to the point where I was like, "Get me the heck off of this thing!" When it got to the end of the ride, and then my legs hurt for the rest of the day. It's just the way that the seats are sitting, and you can't flex your legs. It kind of like pins your legs in where you can't move or adjust if something feels weird. That's why I'm not a big fan of that ride. I'll ride it once if I go, and my crew wants to ride that's there with me or whatever. Um, but yeah, sorry, I'm trying to read the. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Loopy. But yeah, I was there for opening day. I did so Great Adventure. I did the commercial shoot for Flash and Media Day for Flash. I love that ride. Is it a good fit for that park? No. Um, as much as other people want to say it's a great fit because of the laterals and because it's a stall and the launch and blah blah blah. The capacity on that thing is horrible. Um, it's gonna get during the summertime on a Saturday. I guarantee you that thing's gonna be 5 6 hour long waits, uh, and you're gonna need a flash pass to ride it. And they're gonna sell out of flash passes. They're gonna make their $3,000 or $4,000 for the day and on flash passes, and those are gonna be the people that get to ride it, and that's it. Um, should have had a turn. Yeah, agree. I totally agree with the turntable. Yeah. Um, I think what they should have done, in all honesty, is Siren's Curse should have went to Great Adventure. Um, the only reason that Siren's Curse went to Cedar Point was because they needed an apology for how bad they messed up with Top Thrill 2 last year. So that's why they stole Siren's Curse from the other park. But they should have given Siren's Curse. They should have given Siren's Curse to Great Adventure. Um, I'm kind of still thinking that if Siren's Curse does well, that Great Adventure will get one. Just because of the distance between the parks, they wouldn't have a problem getting. I would not be surprised if they went to Vekoma and said, "Hey, we want another one of those," and they're going to put it at Great Adventure. It won't be a replacement for Ka, but it would be a really good replacement for Green Lantern. So that'd be kind of an interesting concept. Exactly because they delayed that thing. Yeah, the only reason they delayed that I believe that they delayed Flash was because with the removal of 7 rides or 8 rides or 9 rides or whatever the hell they took down at Great Adventure, they didn't have a draw. That park would have suffered so bad this year with attendance if they would have opened Flash last year. People would have rode it last year, and there would be no reason to come this year because there was nothing new, and they tore everything else down. So that was a very calculated decision from Six Flags to do that. And if anybody wants to argue with me on that, I will guarantee you that I can prove you wrong in every aspect and say that that ride wasn't ready because they made it look like it wasn't ready. It was ready to go, and once they decided the Ka was coming down, they just said, you know what, let's delay Flash for a year because we're not going to have any draw for next year, and the season pass people will still buy a season pass to come back and ride Flash, even though we screwed them over last year. So they kind of, that's actually brilliant, but at the same time, they really screwed up with what they were doing, and they should have offered people that bought season passes this year a very heavy discount on their passes. I know a lot of people that did not renew their Great Adventure passes just because of the Ka removal, even though Flash was going to open this season. I know a lot of I know at least a dozen people that were like, we're not buying season, we're not going back there again. Not to say that they wouldn't buy a season pass because they'll go to Dorney or they'll go to King's Dominion or they'll go wherever else. Let's see. I'm just reading the comments here. Great Adventure without. Yeah. Okay. A hyper. I think, yeah, I agree, but I think having a tilt coaster at the entrance right there, when you're pulling into the parking lot, would hands down be a very, very signature entrance way, like you're driving it. I mean, I don't know if you've been to Carowinds, but when you pull into Carowinds and you go across that bridge and Fury just goes hauling ass across the freaking underneath of the pathway you're walking on, yeah, that's what you need to do. You need to have a shocker. You could build. They have no reason to build a hyper or a giga. They already have a hyper. Nitro is one of the best in the country, so I don't see them being like, I only redeem my pass because I need to. Yeah, I mean, I have mine at King. My pass is from King's Dominion. I added. It was, and it wasn't because I wanted to go to Six Flags. I mean, I go there often because my friends live up there. But no, I did the season pass with the passport because of Cedar Point, King's Dominion, Dorney. They're all right here. Yeah. Also because I love Nitro. Yeah. I mean that. What's the only reason to go to Great Adventure now? Nitro, Toro. That's it. You can ride a Medusa anywhere else. You can ride a freaking Jersey Devil, but you can ride Batmans are everywhere. So I mean, they're not. That's the draw now, Toro. And if they don't take care of Toro, then they lose Toro. Then they're in a real handful of crap. So Loopy, I know I've been on live for like an hour. I'm like, yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, this is an original Dueling Dragons mug from the park when I worked there. Yeah, that's a throwback right there. Um, yeah, I'm looking at. I'm reading the hyper. Yeah, so from what I'm hearing, the replacement for Ka is going to be some like kind of crazy mock like Stratus spinner or something like that. I won't believe any of that until I see it on paper, and the park actually announces something. I don't get into the hype of and speculation and um, rumors. I don't like the rumor mill. There's a couple people out there that sometimes they get their rumors right and sometimes they get their rumors wrong. When they get their rumors right, they think they're awesome, but when they get their rumors wrong, they do nothing to say anything about, hey, I was wrong about that. Um, yeah, so there's certain people, YouTubers I watch that do that, and I'm like, you can't do that. Um, Obviously, when you change your name 15 times from one to another, from being, yeah, I don't even want to go into it. But yeah, yeah, interesting. So trips coming up. Let's see. Grenoble this weekend, and then Cedar Point the weekend after that. We're going for all 3 days for opening. The greatest thing about going to Cedar Point is when I worked there, I made really, really good friends with a local family that we're welcome to stay with whenever we go. And they're freaking amazing. I love them like they were my family. Every time we go up there, I miss them all the time. But yeah, her son used to come to the park all the time where I worked on Millennium, Greg, and he would come late at night. And he was like, I think he was like 12 or 13. And I was like, look, dude, I see you all the time up here at night. Like, you know, do you come to the park all the time? He's like, yeah, I live here, blah, blah, blah. Of course, I was in my 20s. And I'm like, look, I need a roller coaster buddy to ride with. If you're ever here, like, let me know. Like, come find me, whatever. I gave him my number. And then one of the nights we were at the park and he was late. And I was like, I got off and he was still there. And I'm like, hey, you want me to ride you home? I was like, I'm going to the bar after work. So if you live in town, I'll drop you. I'll be like, sure. And I went in, I met his mom and his dad. And ever since then, like family, man. I mean, they would invite us over for dinner. The ride crews over for dinner. Greg would hang out with me all the time. Greg actually still works in the park. He works on the trains, which is really cool. I can't wait to see them. Um, Loopy has returned. Let's see. I have. It's really hard for me to read this because my eyes are bad. Have any major theme park? Have you been? Oh, you're asking if I've been to any other theme park, like any other major theme parks, like anywhere? Yeah, sure. Let's see. I've been to Kings Island. I've been to Dollywood, Holiday World, Kentucky Kingdom, um, Dollywood, Six Flags Over Georgia. I'm just trying to think of like everywhere I've been. Six Flags New Jersey. I'm trying to do the ones in the South. Georgia, Six Flags St. Louis. Um, all up and down the East Coast. I haven't been to Six Flags New England yet. I haven't been to. There's a. Oh, dude, Kings Island is unfreaking believably good. That park is. I actually like it better than Cedar Point. Um, we did a trip last year. We did Kings Island, and then we did Cedar Point. And the whole time we were at Cedar Point, we're talking about how much we wanted to go back to Kings Island. It's really bad, but Beast Night Rides, nothing touches that. Um, yeah, Orion is really good. I actually, unpopular opinion, I like Orion better than Fury. Um, I know I'm gonna get shit for that. But yeah, I think I like how Orion is. So Fury is low to the ground. turns, kind of like 305, where Orion is up higher. I think the turning and the G forces on Orion are a little bit better. Um, I have not been on either. Okay, have you been on 305 at King's Dominion? 305 is my favorite Giga. Is it ridden? Okay, so but 305 isn't. Oh, you haven't been to King's Dominion. How far are you from King's? I'm only like 2.5, but with the traffic, more like 4 or 5. Busch Gardens, Kings Dominion trips are always the biggest hassle, man. The traffic, about 4. Wait, are you up north? Are you closer to Great Adventure? You should see if you can get over to Knoebels this weekend, man. I mean, we're all going to be there. There's a bunch of us. I'm very close. Yeah, that's what I figured. You should try to get out to Knoebels, man. Knoebels opening weekends this weekend. That place is freaking fantastic if you've never been, and you get to ride Phoenix, which is unbelievably good. We'll be there Saturday all day. Park opens, I think, noon to... I think it's either noon... I think it's noon to 7 or noon to 8. One of the two. But yeah, if you're a Great Adventure, Knoebels isn't very far at all. I'd have to look. I can look that up for you and tell you how far it is from Great Adventure to there. I think it might be like 2 hours. If I move my phone, I can get on my computer. Let's see. Gotta move my stand here real quick. Going to... Although I'm going to a ton of parks. Yeah, we've got a bunch of trips planned too. I know, like, the Cedar Point trip is a big one. Then we're gonna do Cedar Point again once Siren Curse opens. That trip will be both Kings Island and Cedar Point, and most likely Holiday World on that trip too. Let's see. Let me go to... I'm gonna look up. I just want to see how far it is from Great Adventure to Knoebels. Alright, from there... Hold on. I'm just curious to see now, because... Alright, to Knoebels. You're looking at... it's about 3 hours, man. Between there and... Yeah, because you're coming all the way across and up. So you come, 276... So yeah, because you're kind of out in the weird spot. So what my friends do is my friends come down from they live in Magnolia, and they go from Magnolia to my house, and then we drive up from there. Cause like from my house to there is like 2.5 hours, 225. Yeah. So yeah, I'm kind of like northern Maryland kind of deal. So my will probably be for... Yeah, you'll love Epic Universe. My buddy Connor was just there. He said it was freaking amazing. Have you ever seen... Did I show you my wall? Like what all my coaster pictures and stuff on my walls look like? So behind me right now is like all my music stuff. Like that's all signed stuff from Creed. And then like over there is like Sister Hazel stuff. And yeah, I collect signed albums and stuff like that from the bands I like. Okay, so my wall looks like... there you go. So those are all my pictures up there, and then there's like Millennium, and the Ka picture is up there. and then Nor'easter, Vengeance, and then um, I want to see if you can guess where that's off of. Probably won't get that right, but yeah, I have those two. And then there's my calendar, and then these are all like a lot of these up here are patches and stuff because I have another vest I want to do. Those are all patches, but like that's my Gillian's Wonderland goodbye picture. But yeah, that's how I did my wall. So, and then I have my lights up here that change colors and stuff. I didn't change them to red. I'm changing colors on them. But yeah, those are all my pictures. I spent like I forget how long. I think I spent like 4 days like putting all those up. It's crazy. Toro and Kasha is really cool. Yeah, you can actually order that on my Etsy, or even if you want, send me a message on you're talking about this picture? That one there? Is that the one you're talking about? I have not had any coaster. 2-3 years, not already. Yeah. Loopy, just send me a message on my Instagram that you want that picture, and I'd be more than happy to sign one for you, mail it to you. I have no problem doing that. Or if you want to buy one and give me a little bit of money, whatever, you can go on my Etsy shop and order one too, and I'll do the same thing. But I can send it to you for nothing. Not a problem. Florida parks. Yeah, I haven't been to the Florida park since 2013. But yeah, definitely. You follow me on Instagram, right? Oh wow. Sorry, I'm reading my news. The other guy that runs my channel does. Okay. Yeah, just send me a message on there and I'll get your address and I'll just mail it to you. I'm gonna get in at some point. Oh, okay. Yeah, the massive police chase going up Mountain Road 9 now. Yes, he went up by. I could hear the runner had flat tires or assumed spikes deployed. Huh. Apparently, like, there was a some crazy car chase going on, like, in my neighborhood. That's kind of cool. Huh. Interesting. My channel is technically ran by 4 people. Huh. Why'd you do that? You run your own channel. That just sounds more confusing than it's worth. Yeah, I'm sitting at like YouTube. YouTube. I've really been concentrating on my shorts lately, and I'm doing pretty well with that. The problem is the analytics thing. I think is really weird on that. I mean, I have videos, but post most of this stuff. Yeah, I mean, I would just do it on your own. I mean, it's cool, like, if you have people that want to, like, contribute to, like, putting videos and stuff up for you because you can't get everywhere. Like, I totally get that. But, like, I kind of wanted to do that with Connor. Like, be like, hey, you know, I can push your channel, you can push mine with your stuff in Orlando because he works at SeaWorld. So, I'm dormant on YouTube for about 2 weeks. I do that every once in a while where I just don't feel like posting anything. But, like, I try to keep my viewers, like, on the YouTube, on the analytics, I try to keep my content, like, over 5K for, like, a 48-hour viewing content. Like, I like to try to keep things up around there. So it's like a constant like ebb and flow kind of thing. Like, so if it drops off, like I can see it. Um, but like one video I'll post, I'll get 5,000 views on it, and then I'll post another video and it gets like 200, and I'm like, I don't get it. I have a TikTok video right now that's sitting on something like 700 something thousand views, and it's like the dumbest video I've ever done. It doesn't make any sense. But hey, it's YouTube, and when you figure out YouTube, TikTok's a lot easier, because people have ADD and they just kind of do this all day and they scroll through it, and I mean it gets views and stuff, but at the same time it's like, at what cost kind of deal. Yeah, it's kind of weird like that. So yeah, so also question is 305 or Toro rougher? 305 isn't rough. 305 is intense, but not rough. I don't know. I've never heard anybody say 305 is rough. 305 has got like that 6G pullout on that first turn that if you're not prepared for it, you're going to sleep. It's pretty much that easy. So also random question. Yeah. Yeah, 305 definitely not rough. I don't think Toro's that rough. I just think the speed and the transitions of Toro is what people consider rough. I've had some really bad rides on Toro where it's rough in coming down, and then it makes the right hand turn before it comes back. That turn up and in and back underneath is jackhammery. But I was there opening day. My friend Stephanie and I rode in the back 4 times in a row without getting off, and on the wheel seat, and it wasn't bad. So I don't really consider that rough. I've been on stuff that's crazy. Wheel seat. No, like, yeah, I mean, we rode in the back four rides in a row and it wasn't bad at all. It was fine. We rode 4 times in a row when I woke up in the morning and I didn't feel it. So, I mean, that's always a good thing. Yeah, I mean, they're saying this year, Toro, I think, is running a lot better this year than it was last year. I think that has a lot to do with the retrack and what they're doing on the retracking, but we'll see when the time comes if it lives up to it. So I'm kind of curious to see if they make it better or worse or whatever. So, but we shall see on that one. Sorry, I'm looking at getting my content up for tomorrow. So, yeah, but I'm going to hop off here. I've been on for 45 minutes. I was going to only be on 30 minutes. So, but, yeah, thanks for joining, man. Definitely make sure you send me your information on Instagram. I'll make sure I get a copy of that picture sent out to you. Also, my Etsy and Redbubble have stuff too. So, opening day was great because... Yeah, opening day was fun, except for the lines for food. That was absolutely ridiculous at Great Adventure. The line, I talked to a couple people that waited almost 2 hours to get a burger or even a drink. So I went all day without grabbing a soda, and I have the drink plan, which is really ridiculous because there was nowhere to get a drink where I wasn't going to wait half of my day in line waiting for a drink. So yeah, I left from there and like went right to Wawa on my way out and freaking spent my money there. But yeah, the ride operations at Great Adventure were actually surprisingly good for opening day. It was super crowded. I don't think they were expecting that many people, but it was beautiful out, and of course they had a new coaster, so which ran, I think, 20% of the day. They had a lot of problems with it on opening day, but I'm just glad I got to ride it when I did for opening day or for commercial shoot and media day. So, but yeah, Loopy, I'll talk to you later. I know someone else was in here, so make sure you follow my Insta, my YouTube, and my I could not. Yeah, I hear you. Um, Make sure you follow my stuff. I'm up on Etsy. I'm up on Redbubble. Look out my pictures. Make sure you follow me. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.